Hey, what's up everyone? It's Tico, and since we're going to be in the house, this is a great time to learn tarot, right? And practice our associations. So make sure that you have the PDF linked in the description, printed out. Maybe do a 3-ring binder type of thing so you can have your pages and your notes. You might have a second notebook. You can combine them, do whatever you want to do. This next tutorial is going to start the series on looking at the astrological associations and what the different signs, planets, and archetypes, what influences they have per each card, and how the deck is kind of structured on that. So personally, to me, I think this is maybe the most confusing part, at least to teach and explain, segment it up, because kind of like once it's all put together towards the end of the next few tutorials, I think it'll all really make sense. I have these kind of chunked into lessons, so be sure to subscribe. Hopefully I'll have them out all kind of in a next period of time if you're following along, and we can combine this with all the other information that we've kind of gone to right up till now. Hopefully you've been practicing, right? So okay, today's tarot tutorial is looking at what's called the aspects of the signs. So there's 12 signs in the zodiac. There are 4 elements: 3 water signs, 3 earth signs, 3 fire signs, 3 air signs, right? And what we want to talk about here is just what they call the aspects of the signs. So there's 3 different types of aspects. There's cardinal signs, there are fixed signs, and there are mutable signs. Cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Okay? I'm going to go through and explain just which each one of these is. And then I'm going to go back through a second time, and we're going to look at where the understanding how these are going to have some influence in the association, especially with the astrological associations with the minor arcana. Okay, so first I just want to say the first aspects are what they call cardinal signs. So this is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. 1 fire, 1 water, 1 air, 1 earth. Those 4 are the cardinal signs. Cardinal signs, you can think of, they're connected to electric energy. So a key word here is like will or intent, right? This is the force that moves into the unknown, initiates, electrifies, creates something where nothing was before, right? The cardinal signs and the cards that they govern are connected to the right use of will and force. Learning to use the right amount of will and power to achieve and manifest and create something. So the cards that we'll talk about that are governed by cardinal signs, those are all about using not just our force, right, or our will or our intent, but the correct amount. Their challenge is to use the right amount of pressure to know when to push forward or when to withdraw, when to hold on or when to let go, using the right amount at the right moment. So if, when we think about this, when certain cards are coming up and they're representing the cardinal signs, these are going to kind of be background indicators in the definitions of the cards, right? This also includes, so cardinal signs also include a deep respect for other beings' freedom and their choice to follow their own will, as well as a deep freedom to express their own inner nature. So that's our Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay. The second aspect is called the fixed signs. So the fixed signs are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. You can think of the fixed signs as connected to magnetic energy. Okay, they're binding forces that attract, hold things together, find synthesis, and creates order out of the impulse of the cardinal sign. Fixed signs, and then the cards they represent, are all about power. But the fixed energy is like a transformation station, right? So it allows energy to flow through it and regulating that power. The challenge for fixed signs and their cards is the mastering of power to get the right input, to hold a certain amount of energy, and to give the right amount of output. If the input is open, but the output is blocked, the transistor overloads and explodes, and it loses the energy in different ways. This could be in burnout or in a volatile personality. If the output is open and blocked, the whole energy system will be depleted and negated. So fixed signs and cards need to find their inner stability and balance. That's where their power is, right? They need the awareness of what kind of input energy is available and what output will be most effective. So as a reader, I think right there, that should be something you might want to underline or highlight, especially when we look at the cards. What kind of input is available and what output is the most effective, okay? Spiritually, they take the higher vibrating energy and can make it available to this 3D plane, and likewise, they raise the vibration of the 3D energy to a higher plane. They transform themselves as they transform the outer world and reach higher states of consciousness. Those are our fixed signs. The third aspect is called the mutable signs. So our mutable signs are Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. Mutable signs are the forces that want to connect the impulses, right, that intent, that will of the cardinal signs, and the fields, these magnetic fields of the fixed signs. So you can think of mutable signs as connected like gravitational energy. They seek to be in constant movement, yet keep a center point of gravity, which makes the movement coherent and focused. Mutable signs and the cards they govern are about choice. These signs and cards follow the flow and work on a different aspect of reality, choosing not to hold on to and struggle like the cardinal and the fixed energies. So they're challenged to find the right path in both the inner and outer worlds. Parallel in quantum physics, mutable energy and the cards they govern are all about learning when to be a particle and affect reality, or when to be a wave, let go, and go with the flow. So those are our cardinal signs, our mutable signs, our fixed signs, and our mutable signs, the three aspects of the horoscope, right? And now here's how they connect to the minor arcana. So for the series, we have our 1 through 10. I'm just going to start with the fire, the wands, the 8 right here, right? Like we had said, the aces, when we went over the numerology, this is the root of the energy. This is before the energy is manifesting. So you could think of it like in what sphere or what plane, right? So we have our fire, okay? And this is going to be the same for all 4 suits of the minor arcana. Just take the root off. So now we're dealing with 2 through 10, these 9 cards, okay? All in the minor arcana, all of the 2, 3, and 4s represent the cardinal signs. The 5, 6, 7 represent the fixed sign of the element. And the 8, 9, 10 represents the mutable sign of the element. So remember, we were thinking about right use of force, how to monitor the input for 5, 6, 7, and that 8, 9, 10, when to affect change and when to go with the flow, following our own path. So these are all things that you want to consider here when we're looking at these. So for fire, 2, 3, and 4, this way, 2, 3, and 4, that's your cardinal sign of fire. That's Aries, is the cardinal. The 5, 6, and 7 is for the fixed sign of fire. That's Leo. And then the 8, 9, 10 is for the mutable sign of fire. That's Sagittarius. With cups, the ace is the root, so we're not going to look at that. 2, 3, and 4 are governed by the cardinal. These are the cardinal cards. The cardinal aspect of the cardinal sign of water, cups, is Cancer. 5, 6, and 7 is the fixed in cups. That's our Scorpio cards. And then 8, 9, 10 are the mutable. That's Pisces. For the air suit, ace is our root. 2, 3, and 4 is governed by the cardinal aspect. So the cardinal aspect of swords is Libra. 2, 3, and 4 represent Libra. Are governed by that, right? 5, 6, 7. So each one of these, right, there's those general rules that we were talking about. So like 5, 6, 7 right here. This is just an idea as a reader, how you might want to practice this, okay? How we're jumping into it right now, I'm just thinking about that, right? 5, 6, and 7. So these are our fixed signs. Same as it's in all 4 suits, all 4 elements. Fixed sign of swords is our air, right? And the fixed sign here is Aquarius. These are all magnetic energy, right? And so we want to look at, this is another thing, right amount of input, the correct amount of output. How would that have any sort of difference? And even when whether or not you know the definitions, is looking at the cards when we have their 5 of swords, that kind of battle or clashing, the changing air, right? 6, movement, and the 7, kind of that stowing or going away, the different direction. When we're looking at if you have too much input and not enough output, how would all these cards resolve, right? Or vice versa, if you had no input and too much going out and the energy dissipated, what would that look like? So these are some considerations that come along with not even really applying it to the astrology sign yet, right? We're just looking at what they call the aspects. So, right, aspect 2, the fixed signs in 5, 6, 7 for swords is Aquarius, and 8, 9, 10, Gemini. And then, of course, our last suit, Pentacles, which is Earth. 2, 3, 4 is our cardinal sign, Capricorn. 5, 6, and 7 is our fixed sign, Taurus. And 8, 9, 10 is our mutable sign, Gemini. So that's the aspects in the minor arcana in the tarot deck. So you just kind of want to look at that, study that, familiarize yourself with that. We're going to be combining them later on as we go down. The next tutorial will just be looking at explaining the the horoscope signs, the archetypes and their influences, and then we'll look at the planetary influences, and then we'll look at starting to put all of that together. So hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Practice, write this down, study it. Blessings.